everyone, it is Rakramac and I'm back with another video. So I've been a faithful user of Google Chrome for quite a while now. It's a very handy browser for keeping all my Google accounts together, and I couldn't really imagine using anything else other than Google Chrome. However, recently I did something that made me unable to start Chrome anymore. So I had to fall back to some other browsers. Well, I'd been using Firefox for quite a while before Chrome, so my first option was that. However, it was pretty much overtaken by ads. A while ago, ads had infected all my browsers, but as I was using Chrome at the time, I disabled them on that, but no other browser. So when I came back to Firefox, they were still there. So I moved on to Internet Explorer, my least favourite browser of all time. It was just as bad. Now, don't get me wrong here, Firefox is alright, and I would have used it if it weren't for the ads, but Internet Explorer, it's just a mess. And here are 5 reasons why I hate Internet Explorer. Now let me just say these are my opinions. Do not let me affect your choice of browser unless you want to take my advice to heart or whatever. Now before I start, I would just like to say I'm using Internet Explorer 9 for any of those who are wondering. Reason 1. Advertisements. Now people hate these on any browser, but for me, they affect Internet Explorer more than any other. So as I say, I got this ad attack on all of my browsers a while ago. However, I simply fixed the problem on Chrome by uninstalling, deleting any file under the name Chrome, and then reinstalling completely. However, this is a little trickier for Internet Explorer as it comes standard with Windows. Since it's standard software, it cannot be uninstalled. So you have to manually go to find the ad file and disable them on your browser, then delete them from your computer. That's what I originally did with Chrome, but it didn't work. Okay, so now my second point, moving on from ads, is add-ons and toolbars. So, if we take a look at my toolbar here, we have all these suggested sites and eBay and Wild Tangent games. To me, these are just as bad as ads. I also had a few toolbars across here as well, which I thankfully deleted before I got any further, although it probably would have been better for me to keep them to show you guys. There were also a ton of other suggested sites here, and Windows has basically self-promoted itself by adding these into your browser. Okay, so we're on to my third point. Choice of search engine. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in test. So the first thing that we see is the search engine used. Bing, my lifelong enemy. So you may have seen ads for the recent Bing It On campaign. People were given a blind test to see if they would choose Bing over Google. Well, a lot of people did choose Bing over Google. However, when I just look at this, I see ugly. For one thing, ads. Yes, the whole page is littered with ads. Ads here, ads there. And what is this thing? It says related searches for test here instead of at the bottom of the page. Great thinking, Bing. Nice job. It is also harder to change preferences in Bing than Google, so that's why I prefer Google. Okay, so moving on to my number 4 point. The layout and design. To me, this top bar just likes a piece of clunky junk. I honestly hate looking at big boxes like these forever. In comparison to Firefox, they have nice tabs which look good, and they actually make me feel good about myself. My 5th and final point, inaccessibility. We have our tools menu. Ugly for a start. But if I was looking at internet options, just no, that is completely disgusting. So if we look into Firefox, we now have good looking tabs, easily accessible, you can easily navigate the page. You ready? You ready for this? You hanging on the edge of your seat? Bonus point! Woo! Right, so I do in fact have one more point about why I detest Internet Explorer. And it's this. If we look down here, we see the Internet Explorer icon on our toolbar. Okay, so let's just go into this. The 5 tabs I have open currently in my browser. But why are there 5 stacked up Internet Explorer browsers here? I'm only opened 1 browser currently. I find this very annoying because it looks like I have 5 browsers open at once. Makes me look unorganized and my OCD starts to kick in. Thank you all very much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on Internet Explorer, especially how much you hate it, and how much you love it. No one loves Internet Explorer. Thank you all, and goodbye.